Hello everyone, it's Chrissy here, the Creative Eclectic. Happy Tuesday! Oh wow, so tonight's our last Facebook Live for a little while, probably about 6 weeks. So 5 or 6 weeks. So I thought I should pop on and make the most of this. I'm really hoping we'll have a few people watching tonight. All right. So let me just see if I can find myself. Oh, there we go. All right. Got a bit of a glare issue tonight. Hopefully that goes away. All right. Hey Leanne, thanks for watching. Oh, it's early for you. But you're on daylight savings now, aren't you, Leanne? All right. So tonight we're doing a bit of a special card. We're using some online exclusive products that are carrying over to the online exclusives, and we're using a new paper that's coming out in the annual catalogue on the 6th of May. Hey Glenda, thanks for watching. If I seem a bit rushed tonight, I'm sorry about that. I've had a huge day. There's 2 more sleeps till we go on holidays. So there's a lot happening in the Graham household. All right. So, and I think that's probably an understatement. Anyway, let's talk about these beautiful new papers that we're going to be using tonight. So this is from the, I think it's called the Gallery Blooms suite. I can't show you the inside of the catalogue. Let me just look it up so I can double check that I am telling you the right thing, even though I can't show you. I'm sure it's Gallery Blooms. Please let me have that right. And it's a beautiful, beautiful suite. It's very vintage looking. How are you going, Miss Glenda? Is it nice and warm where you are? It's starting to get cool here in Brisbane. I'm a bit concerned about how cool it is. Oh, sorry, it's a beautiful gallery suite collection. And it is just stunning. Now, the suite has this beautiful paper. It has 2 stamp and die sets. It's got embellishments. It's got some really lovely ribbon that we'll be using. It's got a gorgeous embossing folder, and oh, I forgot the embellishments that come with the suite. But anyway, so we're going to team this up with 2. Let me just show you these papers. Like they're just, so on one side they've got scenes, and on the other side I've got patterns, and we're using this pattern today. And I'll explain a little bit about the card while I'm making it. But like, it's got lots of damask print, and so it's just beautiful vintagey style paper. And I have to say, it's been a long time since Stampin' Up have had that sort of vintagey muted tones, and I am, for one, very, very excited about this. Now, I've already filmed a video. I filmed it this morning, and it'll go live while I'm away, of a variation of the card that I'm making tonight. Okay, and it's a special card as well, but I can't share that video until after we are away. Oh, it's starting to cool off. That's fantastic. Right, so who else is watching? Who can I see? Glenda, I can see Leanne. Oh, I've got a few people watching, but I don't know who you are. So I'm sorry if I haven't said hello to you. I just can't see who you are. All right, so we're going to use the spring corners and the bright borders, and both of these are bundles. So the spring corners has, well, at the moment, I don't know, I believe that they'll be sold separately as online exclusives, I think, but at this point I could tell you anything and it might not be right. Now these are sort of on a corner, these are all yeah, they go, the words go around the corner. That's really what I wanted to say. And we've got dies, and like there's, in this bundle, there's balloons, and there's hearts, and there's dots, and there's suns. Hey, Marnie. Hope you had a good first day back. You are back, aren't you, at school, at work? Now we are going to use these dies, and I'm just trying to think what the words are that we're going to use. Oh, we're using the happy birthday, happy birthday with this, and I can't remember what other words. Oh, wishing you an amazing day. And I've got to find that one. I haven't used it yet. There we go. And we're going to be using that one today. Now, what I need to tell you is that the current mini catalogue ends 2 weeks yesterday. So if there's something from the mini catalogue that you really, really want, make sure that you get that. And also tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, Stamping Life is offering free shipping on orders over $35. So that's a little bit fun. So if you have something that you really want, then now's the time to get it. Now, I've done a little bit of prep for this because I got carried away. Oh, that's good to hear, Marnie. Alright, so I have stamped this fella here, and I have punched it out with the coordinating punch, and I've stamped it again, and I've stamped the happy birthday in here. Okay, now the reason for that is that I knew that by this time tonight I'd be pretty tired. So let's just punch this out. Now I've stamped it in the new colour Secret Sea, and I have used my Timid Tiger Stamping Right markers. So these markers here, this Timid Tiger one, to colour in the outer edges of the flowers. And then I used my, I've got written here, I've got Cajun Craze, but it might not be. It might be Peach Pie in the centre. But you could use whatever colour you want. Use Darling Duckling, alright? That's a good option as well. Alright, so I've got those 2 pieces all printed out, punched out. Okay. So we're going to move that bright borders set into my little basket to go back downstairs. So it's out of the way. Alright. So let's talk about our base card. Now, let's put those to one side so I don't lose them. Our base card is, it's in basic beige. Right, which isn't a colour that I use a lot, but it's perfect for this paper. And I have already scored it because, you know, I got carried away. Hi, Miss Jan. Long time no see. Like 3 hours or something. So this is the full length of an A4 cardstock. So it's about just 11 and 5/8. So if you're in the US, use your letter size cardstock. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, and it's 11 and 5/8 of an inch, and it's actually 10.5 centimeters wide. Okay, I know I'm doing two different types of measurements, but it's just easier to do that. Right, so we're going to grab our scoring blade, and I will go over these again, and we're going to score the first one at 1.5 inches. Now, if you're in the US, you can adjust this to your card sizes. Now, this will make a smaller card than what we're used to. Then we're going to move that up, and we're going to score it at, I want to say it's 6 and 5/8 of an inch. All right. That's about right. So we've scored it twice, but you can adjust this however you want. Now we've also got a piece of white cardstock. Now this piece of white, like, ignore that gunky side because it's going to be on, you're not going to see it. So it's 10 inches by 3 3/4 inches, right? And I've scored it at 5 inches, so it's halfway along. So, and we're folding it in half. Use your bone folder or your pretty little acrylic nails and don't tell my nail technician, she'll have a fit, to score that. We're not going to take our trimmer too far away. So what we want to do, firstly, we're going to make a mechanism for the inside of our card. So I've folded it in half. I've got a pencil and I've got a trusty little ruler. And I want to, from my right edge, I'm going to measure 1 1/4 inches along that fold. So the fold is at the top. Okay, so I'll move this, actually I'll move my trimmer out the way. Right, so I've measured it at 1 1/4 inches. Then on the other side, so turn it around, my ruler around, and I'm going to measure that at 1 1/4 inches. Now you can make it a little bit more. I wouldn't do too much more and I wouldn't do too much less. All right, okay, so we've got 2 bits there that we've marked. Then at about, we'll make it, let's just keep it easy, 1 1/4 inches from the fold. We're just going to make it 1 inch. No, we'll make it 1 1/4. I'm talking to myself here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've got my Minnie Mouse nails, Marnie. Oh, goodness. I was talking to Jan about my to-do list and I'll be doing some of it at the airport. So I have got a little bit to do. But it's not stuff that I have to do at home. I can do it from anywhere. So all right. So you can see here, I've got my first piece at, actually I'm going to change that. Can you just ignore what I just said? All right, we're going to make it 1 inch from the fold line. I think that that's quite enough. All right, let's just use my ruler and do it 1 inch from the fold line. Yeah, I've got a fair bit. I'm still putting together my swaps, like putting all the embellishments on, because I ran out of embellishments, so I had to go with a plan B. Now I'm going to take I'm going to actually put my ruler across that because I've got a metal ruler, right? And I'm going to cut down, and I'm just going to cut just a little bit inside that score mark, cut down to my ruler, right? So that means I'm going to cut it fairly well because going through 2 bits of stuff, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. On the other score mark, I'm just going to take it just a little bit inside the mark. Alright. I mean, you could measure it more accurately. And we're just scoring those down. Alright. Then we're going to turn our paper and have that, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this because I can't see it, where the score line is, that 1 inch, where that mark is, we're just going to put a little score line in, just between the 2 cuts, okay? And if you can't manage to do that, don't worry about it, alright? It'll work if you do that or not. Alright, we'll get rid of our paper trimmer out of the way. Alright. We'll get that off the desk, oops. And then, so what we've created here is a little pop-up mechanism. Okay. And so when the card opens, and if you haven't scored properly, you need to actually, haven't cut properly, you need to actually cut. Because when I cut it, I didn't cut all the way through, so I'm just going to make sure I've cut it all the way through down to that score line. Alright, and we're just going to fold that. And if there are any raggedy edges, just cut them off. Right, and we're just going to fold that. So now, when you've got the inside of your card, this little piece will pop up, right? How cool is that? Right, so what we're going to do is take the inside of our card. We probably should do some stamping on this before we put it on the inside of our card. That would be really helpful. Now I'm going to use my Sizzix stamping platform just because it's here, and whoops, that might not work terribly well. Get too close to the camera, hang on. I'm going to have to work around this. I'll just set it up and then I'll show you how it is set up, and I'll stamp it off the camera. So I want to put my words in the top left corner of my card. Right, so I've got my grid paper on my Sizzix stamping platform. I think it's called a stamp and stencil tool. I think that's what they call it. Just put that on nice and straight. I'll close it up, press it down. So I know then that, whoops, that it's going to be just inside that line there. And I'm going to take it off camera and I'm going to stamp. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had more room. I'm going to stamp it in the top, this top corner of my card, right? And I'm going to stamp it in Secret C. Let's move that paper out of the way. All right. I'm really excited for the free shipping, but I can't order anything tomorrow or Thursday or Friday because yeah, I won't be here when it comes. Alright, so I'm just stamping off the camera here. I'm making sure that I've got my sentiment nice and straight. Now, using a stamping platform means that if you don't what's the word, get enough ink on your stamp first time, like if you look here, I don't quite have enough ink on that word there, so I can go back because I'm not going to move. This is a really good tool and it doesn't move, and I can put a bit more ink on that part and make it exactly as dark as I want. Right, so I'm just going to take that off. So that's probably a bit too far in from the edge, but for the purpose of this card, it'll be fantastic. When can you order the other new products in your new catalogue? You can order them on the 6th of May. All right. I do have a friend that can. We have a house sitter staying, Leanne, but it's sort of a matter of, do I spend the money now on stamping up goodies, or do I wait until we're almost home and order, which is probably what I will do, so that the new stuff from the new catalogue is here when I arrive. I'm thinking that's the way to go. All right, so we've got our wishing you an amazing day. I'm really quite happy with that. I've done some die cutting already. Now this card is a really special one because it's for one of my really close friends who I realised turns 55 while I'm away. And so I have a friend turning 70. I actually have two friends turning 70, one friend turning 60, and one turning 55. And I had to remember to do all cards. Oh, you would get cardstock. Yeah. I've got so much cardstock, Leanne. I wouldn't get any more cardstock. I have more than what my cupboards can handle right now. All right. Okay, so I've just put on my die cut my multi-purpose glue. I'm just going to pop that up in the corner. Now this goes with the spring corners. This is a coordinated die. Now that's got a bit of glue on it. So I'm just going to very, very carefully grab a baby wipe, being careful not to put it on the ink because I had that happen in one of my videos that I pre-filmed, and just wipe off any of the excess glue with my baby wipe. Being careful not to get it on the ink. Okay, so that's that corner. I still managed to get, the paper seems to run. It's probably just me. I've probably got ink on my fingers. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'll move that up a bit so you can see, sorry. Bit of glue on my other corner. Now, this girlfriend's really, really special, and she, sadly, her 50th birthday was at the start of COVID, so the planned surprise party for her never happened, and unfortunately. So, and I'll be away for this significant birthday. So I wanted to make sure that she got something nice in the post while I'm away. And her birthday and my birthday are only a few days apart. And yeah, I thought that would be nice for her to have something that arrives, because I know that she sort of thinks that I might have forgotten because I've been a bit preoccupied lately. Alright, so we've done our stamping and it's fairly plain card. We've got a little bit of embellishment on here. We're just going to fold this in half and we're going to bring in our other piece of our base card. So this is a top folding card, alright, and this is the fold line. This bottom fold line is where we want to make sure we line up our fold here. So we're going to use, oh sorry, Steve was sneezing very loud. I think the whole neighbourhood heard that. We're going to use just a bit of multi-purpose glue, and as you can see I've chucked that little mechanism away so you're not going to get glue on it. And we're going to fold this, and I probably could have made this base section shorter, but anyway, we're going to just pop that so it's centered left to right in the bottom of the card, right? So then we're just going to take our multi-purpose glue, be generous with it, and yeah, make sure that we've got lots and lots of glue on here, but not so that it's, what do you call it, lumpy. You don't want any lumps in it. We're just going to close this down onto it and press it really nicely. So then when you open it up, you've got this pop-up mechanism. All right, so I'm going to put my little, well, I prepared earlier, I die cut some glitter 5s, because 55, you know, and they have got some adhesive backing on them. I'm just going to use my take the picture, so this to take those off, and we're going to pop that there. Oh, it's just the right height. Now these are die cut with the alpha a la mode, I think that's what it's called, dies. Pretty sure. Marnie, yes, I do wish the free shipping was in May, but it's not. So, but it's a good opportunity if there's some stuff that's carrying over or converting from bundles to single items, that you can get those without paying shipping. So, yes. So I'm just going to pop this other 5 on as well. Oops. Make sure it's sort of straight. It's sort of lined up. Oops. Sort of lined up. Oh, you'd think my hands aren't working properly, and you'd think that I'd be able to get this right. All right, we'll just stick that down. So the beauty of using adhesive sheets, which I've got a whole heap in my cart, ready to get is that you don't have to worry about bucket loads of glue. When Megan and I were making my swaps on Saturday for an incentive trip, that was the one thing that we were really thankful for, was that I'd die cut everything with adhesive strips. So now what we're going to do, and I'm not going to use glue for this, I'm just going to use a bit of tear and tape because I want it to be quite sturdy. I'm going to put 2 little bits of tear and tape up to the fold line. Now, depending on the width of your embellishment or whatever it is or your pop-up, that depends on how far you come in from each edge of your card, and it depends on how wide this bit in the middle is. All right. I think this is a really cute little card, and so you need to make sure that you haven't gone below that scored line. Okay. So then, I went a bit too far down, so I'll just move that up a bit, just gently. I'm just going to pop that 55, make sure it's straight. Okay, so then the 55 stands up. How cute is that? All right. Now, I'm going to do something that some people are going to get horrified by, and I'm going to grab my Timid Tiger Stampin' Right marker. I'm just going to put, I've got a little plastic bag, so I'm going to put the little plastic bag, maybe not. I'm just going to put that over top. I left my ink pad open and I put my plastic bag on top of the ink pad, so that's not going to work. So I'm just going to use my dimensionals as a backing, as a mask, and I've grabbed my Timid Tiger marker and I'm just going to do some splatters, right? And the reason I'm just doing a few splatters on here is to make it less white. Okay. And I probably should have done this before, but you know what? It's okay. My brain's not working. It is so not working. All right, so we've got that. Just a few little splatters. Just breaks it up a little bit. And I'm covering up the stamped bit because I don't want the splatters on the stamped bit. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Hey Kathy, thanks for watching. I haven't seen you for a while. All right, so now we're going to get on to the next bit of our card. We've done the inside, and I know that it looks quite bare, but it's got lots of room to write, and she's going to like that. All right, so we've closed up the front of our card, and now we're up to decorating the front. Now this is going to be decorated a little bit differently than what you think. So first up, we've got this beautiful paper, and I don't know if it's directional. I think it can go any direction, and so I've just got one that's 1/4 inch smaller than my card front. I'm going to pop that on. Okay. Now, I might just take it all the way to the edge. Let's just push it to the edge a bit more. Okay. So how was everybody's Easter? I feel really rude not asking, but everybody if they had a nice Easter, and those of you who are in Australia, are you looking forward to the Anzac Day weekend this weekend? I'll be a bit sad because we won't be able to do a service this year. Last year we did a dawn service in Cairns and it was beautiful. But, you know, we'll be in the air. So I don't know that they'll do a minute's silence or on the plane. I doubt it. I hope that they do, but I really doubt it. Okay. So I've got a piece of white ribbon, which I have coloured with Secret Sea. Now this white ribbon's in the new catalogue, new online exclusive. It's available. And I've coloured it with the Secret Sea ink pad. And how I've coloured that is I have just grabbed my ink pad and I put a post-it note over top of my ribbon and I've just run it across my ink pad. Alright, so if you don't have the right colour, you can make it so that you do have the right colour. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put my ribbon underneath the back layer of the card. Alright. Now I've got two other pieces. So this piece is the reverse side of the front piece. And I have got a piece of Secret Sea that I have embossed with the damask embossing. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's a really pretty design. And I want to just cut that down just a little bit because I want to layer it. And I'm doing it probably the opposite way to what we normally do. I want to layer this over the top of my pattern paper, which is not something that I do often. Oh, you have a very quiet and lovely Easter. And how was my Easter? Oh, yeah. That's good to hear, Marty. Mine was exceptionally busy. We had beautiful Good Friday with Mum and Dad, and pretty much the rest of the weekend was either gardening, making swaps, working of some description, doing housework. I did manage to leave yesterday and go and get my nails done, and I managed to vote today. So, but it was very, very busy, and as Steve said today, oh goodness, he could do with a holiday. Because, you know, we've got a house sitter coming and the house has got to be tidy before they come, and there's stuff that when you're busy that you just don't get round to doing, but when you know someone's coming to stay and that they are a very tidy person, there's things you think, oh, I better do that before they come. And so Steve, he's shaped all the trees in the garden because the garden's not going to get done for about 6 or 7 weeks. And he's done all sorts of things. So I am very, very grateful that he is has been doing all of that. All right, so I've got my Secret Sea and I'm going to pop that in the middle of that piece. All right, yeah, so I don't like there's stuff that we did and I'm like, why did we not do that weeks ago? But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Like Steve even put together the water feature outside the dining window, about outside the dining room doors, so that it is almost ready to go. It just needs a new pump. And so there's all sorts of stuff we did. Oh, I didn't stick that on very straight. Let's gently ease that off. And because we use the multi-purpose glue, we can wriggle it into place. All right. So we've got this piece here, and we're going to wrap the ribbon all the way around. Now, don't freak out. There's a method to my madness. All right, and I know you're probably thinking, oh, I don't think so, Chrissy. I think you've just lost it. But I haven't. Trust me. I'm a professional. Famous last words, hey? All right, so I'm going to use a bit of my... I'm going to make sure I've got one end longer than the other. I'm going to use a bit of my seal because this is a longer card. A wider ribbon, sorry. And I'm just going to pop some seal there. And that'll just hold this in place while I tie a knot. And the seal will hold the knot in place also. Now, I want to give it a little bit of extra strength. Now, you're probably thinking, how on earth are we going to open the card? But just trust me, bear with me. We're going to grab a glue dot, if I can find one. What happened to all my glue dots? We seem to have half a roll on here that doesn't have any glue dots on it. Grab my point of my scissors and put a glue dot under here as well. Alright. Now this piece forms a mechanism. Alright, well not a mechanism, a latch to hold it closed. Because you want it to stay closed while you're posting it. And we're going to do a nice little knot. Now, when you're doing your ribbon, when you've coloured it like the way that I have, make sure it is really, really dry before you try and oh, I did that the wrong way. We need to turn it upside down. Really, really dry before you try and work with it, because otherwise you are going to get ink all sorts of places that you don't want. All right. I'm going to do this the wrong way. I'm doing it a different way now. All right. Now, to adjust the ends of your bow, you just hold on to your knot. And I'm going to adjust that loop of my bow a bit more. I'm just going to try it, pull it that way. That's a wonky bow. Let's try that again. Third time's a charm, right? I might need a bit more. Third time's a charm. Okay. So what has everyone got planned for the Anzac Day long weekend? Is anyone doing anything special? Going to a dawn service or anything like that? For those who are watching from internationally, outside of New Zealand and Australia, Anzac stands for Australia New Zealand Army Corps, and Anzac Day commemorates the landing of the Australian and New Zealand troops in Gallipoli in Turkey, and it was a very significant battle that nobody won. The Turks lost 200,000 troops, and the Aussies didn't do well either. The Kiwis got to the top of the hill on the first day, but had no troops to back them up. So, yeah, it was a horrible, horrible battle and a horrible time in our military history, and we observed the courageousness of the Anzacs. So, my uncles were in the military and a few of my close friends, so we always like to observe it wherever we are in the world. And sometimes it's not possible, but they know that we're thinking of them. Oh, you're going to the service, Marnie? Oh, that's good. Yeah. I just, I'm definitely not pro-war, but I do appreciate the sacrifice that our military make for us, and they give up, they go to the other, particularly these young soldiers, they went to the other side of the world, and most of them didn't come home, so it was very, very sad. But if you're interested in military history, finding out about the Battle of Gallipoli is a very, very interesting story. All right, so we've got our little card here, and so to open the card, you actually pull it. Oh, goodness me. I don't know if she's going to know how to do this. You pull it down, all right? And I've just realised that that's not going to work. She's not going to see the wishing you an amazing day, is she? Well, that's not very bright. Anyway, we'll see. Oh dear. Okay, so that's what not to do with the inside of your card. So you need to make sure that if you're stamping anything across the top, you're going to have to have it down low. That's so funny. Okay. I'll have to work out a way to fix that, but I'm not going to fix it. We're talking really about this mechanism and how the latch works. All right, let's put on our happy birthday. That's funny. And sometimes I wonder how I ever managed to teach a class. Oh dear. In my defence, I was up filming at 6 a.m. this morning. I filmed 3 classes before 9, and so my head is not where it should be. Okay, so I've just used adhesive strips on this. I don't even know where my embellishments are that I had for this one. I have them somewhere. Alright, so we're just going to put this happy birthday here. So technically the card should work like so the card, that should open like that, and you should be able to see all the words across the top. So we just need to fix that because she's not going to be able to see that. So we're going to take that ribbon off. We're going to put some Seal Plus on here. Oh, sorry, some seal. Close it back up. Try and do a bow the same as what I did before. So nothing's ever not fixable. Sometimes it just takes a little thinking to work out how you're going to fix it, but certainly you can fix anything. And what I will do is I've got a little bit of Velcro downstairs. I will grab a bit of Velcro. Oh, that is not right. Why is that not right? And I'll grab a bit of Velcro and I will put a little Velcro catch on it. so that it stays closed in the mail. And I'm sure that at some point my gorgeous girlfriend will come across this video and go, really, Chrissy, what were you thinking? And she's not a card maker. She has made a card or two with me in the past, but she's not a card maker. And, oh goodness, bow's gone berserk. Oh, let's do it that way. There we go. Oh, that was an effort. So let me see if I can find these embellishments. And no, I can't. Now, what I also wanted to do, I wanted to actually put some of the some of this basic beige ribbon on as well, but I don't think it really needs it. I am worried about that bow, so I'm going to put a few more glue dots on there. Actually, no, I'm going to put a bit of tear and tape behind it. See, it's all good, isn't it? Yeah. Nothing is ever not fixable. Just don't want the bow to fall off, that's all. Now, when you're crafting, when you're tired, you're going to make mistakes, all right? But sometimes you come up with other things that are really, that you had never thought of before, and that you really think, oh, that's going to work. That works really, really well. And so don't be afraid to make mistakes when you're crafting. Look, you watch me every Tuesday night, you know how many mistakes I make. If you had seen me die cutting on Saturday, when I was die cutting for 30 cards, I only had to make 26, but I made 30, and I die cut layers wrong, and because my mind wasn't in the right place, you would know how many mistakes that I make. All right, so that is a pop-up card that's been modified because I couldn't stamp in the right place, but it's not too bad. I hope you like it. I hope everyone has a really lovely next month of May and the end of April. I will be back, hopefully, and I'm not promising, but I'm hoping to be back for my live on the last Tuesday in May. Hang on, I'm looking at the calendar. I arrived back in Brisbane on the 27th of May, and our flight arrives at 6:30 a.m. So I should be back on our Facebook Live on the 27th of May, but I'm not promising, all right? Just because anything can happen, and I don't normally sleep on the plane, and it's a very, very long flight from San Francisco to Brisbane. And then, but I have got a few things planned that'll go live while I'm away. So there'll be a craft along that's pre-recorded that goes live on the first Saturday in May, and it's all scheduled, and I've triple checked everything. So that will be fantastic. I'm going to be sharing lots of pictures, or all the pictures I'm allowed to share, and it's a little, the incentive trip doesn't start until the 13th of May, so we've got some time with family, and time, it's just Steve and I having a holiday, which we don't do by ourselves very often. So that will be really lovely. And then we, on our way home, we have time with some really great friends as well. So we're looking forward to coming back refreshed and ready to craft in May. Right, until next time, have a lovely next few weeks. Enjoy your Anzac Day commemorations, and also if your Mother's Day is coming up the second Sunday in May, so make sure that you've got those Mother's Day cards ready if you have a mum. If you don't have a mum and you know, but you have a friend who is a mum who might like to get a card, that would be really lovely if you could give them a card. Because all mums need to be celebrated, whether they be our own, our stepmums, our substitute mums, our foster mums, and it's just nice to celebrate people undertaking roles as mums as well, like, because there's lots of dads that do the mum's job too. So anyone, like if you don't have your own mother to send a card to, I highly recommend sending a card to another mum. So, and spread a little bit of joy. Right, until next time, happy creating and bye for now.